Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy Thursday, and moving on from Wheelie Wednesday, I've moved it to Wheelie Thursday. Wheelie Thursday or Thrilling Thursday? Not sure which one's best. We are going to be building the next stage of the Pocher Ducati 1299 Panigale R Final Edition. Now, if you remember last time, we got to this stage right here, and it looks like the bike's finished. We've still got the handlebars to do. Today, though, we're going to be starting with putting loads of little tiny details into this section just here. I have already broken all the bits open. They're behind me here, so hopefully we can make short work of this, but they are a lot of really tiny details. So I think we'll just jump straight into it. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, the first little bit of details we're putting in here, and it's hard to understand which ones we do first. I believe this goes on last because I just tried to fit it first and it doesn't work. So I'm going to do this whole section here first and see where we end up. I have zoomed up the top camera there. So the first section we've got looks like this. This is just going to go over the top of this section, just like that. Now over the top of this, we have got a tiny detail like this, and that's going to go into the top of that section there. You see, I'm balancing everything on here. Now I have got some details to put in the top there, but they are just plug-in, so I want to get that secure as it is at the moment. So to the end, down the bottom here, this bottom screw is going to be held in with a D screw. Bottom screw, bottom bit of plastic surround here with a D screw. Now, the rest of it is going to be held in with F screws, which is also going to hold that detail we've just installed in there. Pretty long screws, F screws. But once I've got one in here, it's going to line up everything. So that's the first one. Might help if I turn this around to where it goes. There we go. And I'll put two more of these very long F screws in here. Now, a lot of you have made an observation, which you're absolutely correct about. We're putting all this absolutely lovely detail in. Unfortunately, when the bike's finished, we're not going to see it. It's all going to be shielded in the protection and armour. But there we go. That's those two bits in place there. Now, I've got two tiny details here. One silver and one black, which I just need to put into the top of that unit. And basically what we're going to do is put the black bit through this silver bit here. Get that all the way through. So that looks like that. We want this nipple here to be facing towards the front. So it's going to go into the top of this section here, just like this. Facing towards the front of the engine there. Now I can take this bit that they wanted me to install in the start. I've already put a D screw in here because I've already tried to fit this. Just goes over this point here. And again, that was trying to figure out exactly where that goes. It's not very clear in the instructions, but that's going to go here. This is like the chain guard. Stops the rider having his legs caught in the chain. Perfect. And that's in place. I don't need the bike for the next bit, so I'm going to put this on the floor. And now I've got some parts which we're going to start bringing together. Having some fun with this because I still can't figure out where things go, but you know, we'll do this together. I'm sure we'll be sorted here. So the first thing we got is this bit of surround armour here, which is just going to go onto this metal section here. We've got the 3 holes to line that up. They're going to be held in quite simply with C screws just into the bottom 2. Look at me, I said there was 3 holes. There's actually only 2. You can tell that I'm doing this on a day I don't normally do it. Making elementary errors. So line this up and get these screws in. And there we go. That's in. Just going to put some glue in an old paint pot here because I've got to glue some parts now. And as you can see, I've got J52 and J51. Now these are going to go into these 2 points just on top here. Now, I'm not sure what the difference is between these two, but they want J51 to go in this side here. And J52 just to go next to it into here. And by the look of it, the only difference is one's gold and one's black. We then got DC S05 here, which looks to me like a filter. So I'll get that out. And again, they want this glued in. It's going to go around this section here, so I'm just going to dot some glue around the base here. And then quite simply push this on. This is going to have a decal on it, so I will put a decal on afterwards. But there's the filter in place. Now we've got this section here. We're going to start piecing everything together now. And I've got to try to figure out how this actually goes. So to me, it looks like we have this bracket here, which is going to go onto that section just like that. And then on the other side of this, we're going to be having this section here, which is going to be clipped in at the bottom there, like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting all of these pieces together. This one, first off, is held in with an A screw. Now, I haven't got a clue if we're doing this in the right order or not, but basically this section here of this bracket is going to go onto the bottom of this section just there. And that's held in from the other side with an H screw. And there we go. That's those bits together. Wobbling all over the place at the moment. I've got this little metal bracket in here, and I'm going to need a W screw. And that's just going to go into this section just here. So I'll line that up, put the W screw in through this side. Just get this through. Just like that, and I'll screw that all the way in. Perfect. So we've got that on now. Obviously that can go up and down. Put that to one side because I'm going to create another section now, which means I need this rod here. And in this hole just at the end, I'm going to be putting this little bracket, which is going to go into there like that. That's going to be held in with a size C screw. I'm sorry I'm not more detailed about the parts I'm putting in. I know that was sort of like a peg, but I really haven't got a clue. I'll be honest with you. I haven't got a clue. But I am going to put these in. Now when I put this in, I want to make sure that these bits here are facing upwards to that. So it's going to go in this way here with a C screw. On the top here, with a tiny bit of glue again, let's get my glue onto these pegs. I've got another detail to put in. And that looks just like this. Push that on. There you go. Look at the detail in this. This is amazing. And the section that we just created here, we're going to be assembling this hole here that we haven't screwed anything in into this hole at the base here. That's going to be held in with a size C screw. So this whole piece now looks just like that. One more small detail to put in that looks like that. I need to just put some glue into these tabs here. One is bigger than the other, so it does dictate which way round they go in. And I'm just going to push this into here. I suddenly got an attack of hay fever. But there we go. That's in place. I can put that to one side. We've got one more small section to make here. And for that, we're going to require these sections here and a spring. So having it this way round, this is going to go on the bottom like that. And that's held in with a W screw. As you can see, that's fitting in there nice and comfortably. W screw through this side. And get that all the way in. Probably going to be best to use my heavy duty screwdriver for this. Again, if you have problems putting screws in, don't be scared to swamp it in oil. Take the screw out and just put it back in again. 9 times out of 10, that's going to solve your problem. Now I'm going to get a C screw to hand because we've got to put this spring in. And basically we're going to be putting one side of the spring just through this little hole here. A little bit tricky, but I think I've almost got it. There we go. That's one side of the spring in. And the other side we're just going to be attaching to here with a size C screw. Make that nice and tight. Now that is spring loaded, as you can see. So it looks like that's the kickstand there. Spring loaded. Perfect. Now I need to bring up the bike again. Okay, I've tried to zoom in onto the parts we need. The kickstand's going to go onto these 2 points just here, like that. But then over the top of that, we've got the section that we've just built. And the bottom of that is going to go above the kickstand there. And all the other bits we're going to start putting in and lining this up. So let's get this one in first, just with one screw to hold that in place, and that's a G screw. Now I'm putting this in really loose until I can figure out exactly where everything goes. That's one G screw. I haven't tightened this up at all. And there's the second one. So that's the two G screws in there. Okay, this bar here, which has got the peg on it, I'm just lining this up, is going to be held in with an I screw, which I've got here. This is a flange screw. Whoops. Just lining up this hole here, because in there is going to be going an A screw. And that's it. All those screws that we need are in. I'm just going to tighten these ones up down the bottom now. Loads of detail on there, but as you can see, the kickstand's off. Looks good. That's all in position. So just push this in the direction that's meant to go, like that. We're going to now put this section here over the top of this section, but this is where we're going to decide the ride height of the bike, because this is going to go in the middle. Now, if we want it there, we'd have it in the bottom one. If we want it lower down, we'd have it in the top one. And I like it lower down, so I think I'm going to have that just in there like that. So there you go. That's in. And that's how that's looking at the moment. Now we're going to secure this whole section in here with a piston. So for that, I need these two parts here. Big spring here. This is going to be a little bit challenging, I reckon, to get this on. But one side of the spring is just going to go underneath that section here. And I'm going to have to compress this in now to get the other side of the spring on here like that. Whew, that was hard work. We're going to put that in with a size E screw. Perfect. Now, as you can see, we've got some suspension on that bike now. When I move that up, that's perfect. And now it's all held together. That is what that's looking like on both sides. Now, there's one more thing to do in this stage where I'm going to leave it today, and that's to build the stand. So let's do that now. So here's the parts for the stand. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be putting a wheel on each side of this section just here. Now, it's going to be held in with an I screw either side there. So these are flange screws. So I get these two in here, and that's the first set of wheels on. Okay, on this side here now, I'm going to be putting this bracket on. So that goes on like that. That's held in from this side with a B screw. And then basically to piece these together, we're going to be putting this section in here, and at the same time putting these two together like that. So we've got a stand. So once again, I'm going to have a B screw coming through this side, M1 at the back. Perfect, which means the last thing I'm going to do is just put two wheels in here with I screws. And that's excellent. So now we've got that, let me bring the bike back up. And basically this is going to be going into the hole in the back wheel. So put that all the way through. And that is now standing up like that. And that looks pretty impressive. That looks brilliant, doesn't it? So in the next stages, we're actually going to be starting to do the handlebars, and then we put the armour on, put some of the decals on, which I haven't put on yet. We're pretty much done. But there you go. Let me put my camera back there. Just looking at the pages, you can see we are doing the handlebars and stuff like that next. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pages left to do. We've done 4 today, so I reckon another couple of videos we should have this done, but it's now standing up on its own. I've still got to connect all those pipes up, remember, yet, so that's going to be fun as well. But I really do hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.